So hello everyone, welcome here to the Homestead Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida for the 20th and final round of the 2013-1 FAST SuperTruck Series here at the aforementioned Homestead Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. I am Josh Mertz bringing you the commentary feed for the Automotive Sports Network tonight. We don't have a lot of time to cover practice and happy hour because the drivers' meeting is about to begin.
Everybody off the track. This is the closest points race tonight. It is now only 7 points instead of 5. But anyways, so yeah, anything can still happen. So kind of just be careful around Austin and myself. I really don't want to get taken out and lose the championship because of somebody else. Or I probably will hate you for the rest of the season and starting next season. Keep the chatter to a minimum. You have to pit on the backstretch, and you have to leave pit road off the backstretch. You have to use the access roads. If you enter the pit road under yellow on the front stretch, you will get black flagged, and on the start, you will serve it. Any excessive talking will get you muted in the TeamSpeak. You will get warned once. After that, you will be muted. If any kind of comments are made in the chat because of it, you will be ejected from the race. Leader gets lane choice. Double file restarts. As always, 2 caution rule. If you cause 2 cautions, you'll be asked to park. Merch, you won't have to. Nathan's on his laptop, and Nathan can do it from his laptop. I gave him admin powers.
What's that?
Huh?
What do you want me to do?
If someone has to be muted.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I think everything's pretty much simple as any other race. If anybody has any questions, you can ask. Okay, hearing none, that will sum up the meeting.
So as the drivers' meeting has just ended here at Homestead, trucks are starting to get out onto the circuit. Daniel Wilson, Nick Dawson, and Jacob Krause are the first 3 to leave pit lane, followed by Austin Hakes, your points leader, Sean Whitehill, Chris Hone, Nathan Curtis, David Culpepper, Robbie Jackson. Everyone's starting to leave pit lane here to get their final preparations in their truck setup. There's Eric Epler in truck number 8. Is everyone getting ready to tweak their setups here in preparation for the race today? As we bring up timing and scoring, 3:50 left in this session, and I'm sure these drivers are going to practice pit entry. They're going to do a warm-up lap and then practice their pit entry, as it's a tricky thing here at the Homestead Miami Speedway, because you have to, as Epler's around, you have to use the access roads. It's much like a road course, and Mertz and Dawson were joking before the drivers' meeting. They're going to say, yeah, we're going to win this race because there's access roads going to pit lane. As you know, on a road course, for example, in the Formula One World Championship, the drivers they drive as fast as they can on the access roads to minimize all time lost. As Robbie Jackson around in turn 4, as Nick Dawson has taken the truck to pit lane to practice his pit lane entry and the run down pit lane. Jackson's still around, as Epler, Wilson, the whole field pretty much, as Krause is around, into the fence he goes. In the 29. Right, it nearly gets collected by the pack. There's Daniel Wilson in truck number 15. See the truck, sparks flying from underneath the 15. As in the wall is Culpepper. As warm-up's coming to a close here. See Robbie Jackson, Jacob Krause pulling out of pit lane. As there's many ways you can join the conversation here in the Automotive Sports Network. You can join our Facebook page, facebook.com/Automotive Sports Network. Twitter.com, as Dawson and the 88 Curtis are around. Don't pile them up. Okay. Facebook.com/Automotive Sports Network, Twitter.com/ASNTV_USA, hashtag ASNTVUSA, YouTube.com/ASNTVUSA, ASNTVUSA.tk, and ASNTVUSA@gmail.com. So that's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, our site, and our email, and hashtag ASNTVUSA if I haven't already said it for Facebook and Twitter. As Wilson and Epler look to be tandeming here. As out on track is Josh Mertz. We haven't seen him throughout the session here. I think the crew was working on his truck to get it finalized here, as it doesn't seem like he's too happy with his Red Bull Dodge Ram, as it looks like he's the only Ram in the field. We have a Toyota. Culpepper's in a Dodge sponsored Dodge. How about that? So he's not the only Dodge in the field, but rookie stripes on the back of that truck, as it was announced earlier today that Mertz is going to campaign in all 3 series. As Wilson is around, he's going to campaign in all 3 series in a Dodge, and for Rookie of the Year and the overall championship. So we wish Mertz luck, as I believe Daniel Wilson's leaving to form his own team as well. As we got a stack up on pit lane with the 24 Randall Coleman. There was Daniel Wilson and Jacob Kraus, as everyone practicing their pitting here. They're having a bit of a satellite issue. Hopefully we fixed most of the technical issues from earlier in the week, but if we haven't, I apologize. Mertz down pit lane here. He might pit. No, he just passes right through his pit box. As leader in happy hour, Daniel Wilson, that man, in truck number 15, a 30.841 in truck number 15. As now all the drivers are going to take it to pit lane, see what they can do. As Dawson's around, but he stays out of the way. Mertz is flying up. Oh boy, this isn't going to end well. Sideways, he locks it up, and that was surprising. The radio says I'm attributing that to my rallycross experience. As around is Kraus in the middle of the track. As around is Hakes. So that's a really tricky pit entry, and it looks like someone ran over the cones and smashed the pit wall. So this should be a good race, and glad you could join us here on the Automotive Sports Network for round 20 of the SuperTruck Series. As points battle, it's 5 points between Coleman and Hakes, with Hakes leading. So it's going to be very exciting, and judging by the practice speeds, it's going to be interesting.
And now, race fans, here to deliver those most famous...
On the front row, Austin Hakes with, on the outside, Sean Whitehill. And then it's Nathan Curtis and Josh Mertz, Randall Coleman and Eric Epler, Chris Hone and Daniel Wilson, Nick Dawson with Jacob Kraus, David Culpepper, and Robbie Jackson. So it looks like 12 trucks here tonight in the season finale, as I did count correctly. Safety truck is off. Your championship leader, Austin Hakes, who he just announced during this practice session that he will be back next season to try and defend his championship, as this is, quote, his favorite series. Safety truck to pit lane. Hakes will lead us to the green flag for an 81-lap race here at Homestead, Miami, around the 1.5-mile very fast oval. Green flag is in the air. As Chris Hone to the inside immediately. We had a little bit of a transponder issue with the truck of Sean Whitehill coming out down the backstretch here, flying past the turn 2 camera and coming down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, it's Hakes, Whitehill, Mertz, your top 3. As we're finding, around is Epler! Hit by Hone. And I believe that's going to bring the caution flag out. Waiting for the lights. No contact already. Around is Kraus. As that should bring, major crash here! Oh my! Curtis, Whitehill, Dawson, Mertz, Jackson. All stacking them up. Safety truck is out. So we're going to go back and take a look at what just happened here. in turn 3 with Epler, and then again with the major accident in the first turn. So here it is with Epler. That's Kraus in the 29, Epler 3 wide with Wilson way out on the outside, and it looks like Epler just started to lose it. He tried to save it, was on the apron, and the car, or the truck, excuse me, just could not be saved. Locked him up, and then Chris Hone, an unfortunate victim, in truck number 99. We're going to stay on this shot here because there's the wreck up front, or up here rather. And Culpepper hit the 33 of Jackson, which tagged Kraus, and that brought the caution out. No, yeah, it did bring out the caution, so that happened. We're going to stay on this shot because Mertz starts to go. It looks like he starts to clutch and gets hit by Curtis, and then Whitehill spins. And just a chain reaction wreck here. There's a big wreck in turn number 1 as Jackson plows into the 18. Whitehill hits the 4, and Curtis, your winner of this race last season, is going to be unable to retain his race-winning title. So we're going to join the field here. As here's Robbie Jackson. We're going to join the field on the backstretch, as it looks like pits are open. We're going to look at timing and scoring. Looks like the 18 and 88 have retired. As it's Hakes, Coleman, Jackson, Culpepper, Wilson, Hone, Kraus, Dawson, Epler, Whitehill, and Whitehill's truck is smoking. So it looks like we have lost 3 trucks in that opening accident, Curtis, Mertz, and Whitehill. It doesn't look like Whitehill will be able to finish this race, as that truck is smoking pretty badly and there's a lot of damage on it. So we're under caution on lap number 3 here at Homestead, Miami. Austin Hakes has led the 3 laps so far, and a big crash in the opening lap, or the second turn, or the first turn of the second lap rather, here at Homestead, attributed to Mertz clutching, and it didn't look like he paid attention because Whitehill spun, but Whitehill was going to stay up there. Mertz plowed into him, and the whole shebang happened. Mertz was visibly frustrated, kicking his car, or his truck rather, as he climbed out. As you would say, he is blaming himself. He immediately got on the radio as the wreck was happening, and I was listening, and he was saying, "That was entirely my fault, guys, and I am incredibly sorry." As he knows he's at fault, or he believes he's at fault, for the big crash in corner number 1. As we're under caution here at Homestead. It's not the best of sights, but it's better than seeing 10 of the 12 trucks wrecked. As he thought he wrecked the whole field, but it doesn't look like it. He only collected a couple trucks. As in the pit lane is Hone and Epler, as they are waiting for the field. They don't want to pass the field, as that's really interesting on ovals. You have access roads, but you're not allowed to pass the field. You go pit lane speed. As Hone and Epler in the pit lane, and Whitehill is still in pit lane. It doesn't look like they're going to get that truck out before. So we're going to look at the flagger at the end of the pit lane. Still green, still green, still green, still green, still green, and it's going to turn to red. So Whitehill will be caught a lap down as Hone and Epler pit. As it looks like, to save money with Chris Hone, they bought a War Wagon and just stuck his custom pit sign on it. So that's a way to save money as he spins on the pit lane. New tires, cold tires, as Epler finds his way around. And the lights are out on the safety truck. So we will be going green momentarily. So it's going to be Hakes, Coleman, Robbie Jackson with a lot of damage on the front end of that truck. It's beat up. Jacob Kraus, David Culpepper, Daniel Wilson, Dawson, Whitehill, who is a lap down, and Epler. So we have 9 trucks on the lead lap. Yeah, 9 trucks. Chris Hone in the back of the field. Safety truck is off, and they're going to leave a big gap so they can possibly do a little jump here. As Austin Hakes, your points leader, with Randall Coleman, second place points. On his outside, these are the 2 points contenders, as 57 miles an hour. Now let's see, as the green flag is out, and a bad restart, and truck around, and it looks like we are going to be under caution again. Going to pay attention to the lights, as Epler got screwed over on that restart. Safety truck lights are off, so we are still good. As it looked like Jackson spun his tires, and accordion the field up. So down the back straightaway for the first lap under green, unless you count the first lap. Hakes in the middle, Coleman trying the way outside, but he's way out there. I wouldn't imagine you want to be out there. As out of the corner, number 4, down to the line. Lap 6 is Austin Hakes. Second place, Coleman. Third place, Wilson getting around Kraus. And then Jackson and Culpepper are battling. Kraus slides up, nearly collects the 15. Epler, looks like caution is out again. Is it? No. But it looks like Epler has parked the truck and Chris Hone down the pit lane. So attrition really biting everybody here as Chris Hone down pit lane. So at the end of lap 7, Chris Hone leaves pit lane. I don't know what was wrong with that truck. We're going to try and figure it out for you guys. As Austin Hakes and Randall Coleman battling, as this is the championship battle, is in the wall. I believe that's Kraus. Yes, it was. 3 wide. There's not a lot of room there with Jackson, Dawson, and Kraus, as those two side by side battling for, I believe, the 7th position. As Kraus gets it. Chris Hone back to pit lane. I think he missed his pit stall. As Sean Whitehill driving as well in 9th position, as it looks like Epler has retired the truck from position number 10. As Hakes trying to pull away here. He's trying to get to this championship. As Coleman in 2nd, with Wilson, Culpepper, Dawson, Kraus is in the wall, Jackson in the 4th position. The 7th or 6th position, actually, excuse me. Sean Whitehill still in the 8th position. Looks like, yeah, he is in the 8th position as Chris Hone exiting pit lane. They are battling for Lucky Dog. So we're trying to find Whitehill. Are the lights out on the safety truck? Do we have another caution? No, we don't. I thought I saw it. It looked like it was flash bulbs flashing in the grandstand. So Hakes pulling away. Gap is 3.5 tenths of a second to Randall Coleman, and then it's a further 2.5 seconds to Daniel Wilson in truck number 15, who has announced that he is leaving to make his own team. I believe he's on DeMario Chambers Racing for this series, and he's leaving to form his own team, Second Chance Motorsports. As in the He Gone ceremony, as we were going to broadcast, but we kind of messed up, and we didn't record the entire thing, as we thought it was only going to last 15 minutes, but it turned out to be about an hour. We didn't record the entire thing, and there was a big prank with Nathan Curtis, and it really caused some stir. And we'll follow that story through, and we're going to hopefully have a fast off-season show, as Mario Chambers offered to the Automotive Sports Network to help us out if we had to make one. So we will post on the Facebook if that show will debut. We should have a show taking place in about a week, covering all the Fast Series, the Fresh Talent Super Speedway, Cup, Truck, and Sports Stock Series. As Daniel Wilson in 3rd here, as Nathan Curtis will join me up in the commentary box for most of the Fresh Talent and Super Speedway races, as that is the plan. As down pit lane is Jacob Kraus, and Robbie Jackson is parking the truck. Looks as though there might be a steering arm bent on that truck. as he hit the wall. Remember, he had that incident with Mertz, so that everyone had the incident with Mertz. And he plowed into the 18, and that probably bent something as Kraus down the pit lane. It looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the right-hand side as well. 5 trucks are now on the lead lap, but the gap is 0.3 of a second to Hakes. From Hakes to Coleman. Excuse me there. As Wilson 3rd, Culpepper 4th, Dawson 5th. Whitehill is going to be passing the 33 and 29 in a lap or so, as it looks like Kraus down the pit lane, as Jackson has parked the truck. So attrition really bites these races early, and once you get all the people that wreck within the first five laps, then it becomes a really fun race. As Kraus sitting in the pit box waiting for the crew to repair the truck, as the battle for the lead is getting closer. Well, it's now 0.3 of a second here, as it was 3.5 a couple laps ago. As Chris Hone still on track in truck number 99. As Hakes leads Coleman. And if you're wondering why there's no Precision Cup broadcast, I believe it was posted on the Facebook. There was only 2 cars at the end of a 14-car, 120-lap race. So that's why we do not have a broadcast of the Precision Cup Series, but we should have a broadcast of the Sports Stock Series, I believe, from Homestead, I do believe. Although that's probably wrong. For some reason I'm thinking Phoenix, but I don't have the notes in front of me. So anyway, we're ending lap 17 of this 81-lap race, and I can tell you, in my mind, it's feeling like it's going forever because there's only 2 trucks, but we are still going to truck forward and finish this race. Sean Whitehill, slow. He was letting Chris Hone by. There's Dawson in the 5th position. Then it's Culpepper battling with Kraus, but that's not for a lead lap position. And Kraus got on the apron for a moment, as Wilson, 6 seconds behind the 2 leaders, is now they're passing Whitehill, putting Whitehill a further lap down. But he is in 6th place because he passed Kraus when Kraus was in the pit lane, and he passed the 90. No, I got confused there. The 99 is Chris Hone, 96 is Sean Whitehill. So Hone is a lap ahead of Whitehill for the 6th position. But the leaders are going to be hounding the 99 here momentarily. But Sean Whitehill will not be able to catch the 99, I don't believe, as he's got a lot of damage, and he's only going in 3rd gear according to telemetry. About 140 in the corners. See onboard Sean Whitehill. If you can hear it, that truck is not healthy at all. Let's run on board with Randall Coleman for a couple laps. As from high above, you see the leaders rounding turns 3 and 4 from the pit lane and from the commentary box camera. Austin Hakes leads Randall Coleman by, timing and scoring updates, 3.8 tenths, aka 4/10 of a second. Chris Hone is hanging with these leaders, as he is now 3 laps down. And it looks like Sean Whitehill was passed by Kraus when we were on board with the leaders. We were on board with Randall Coleman, then we switched to the on board of Chris Hone. They were helmet cameras, actually, as the helmet camera produces better sound than the onboard camera, believe it or not. Jacob Kraus plows the wall. in car or truck number 29, as it looks like he got on the throttle way, 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 way too early. Truck just lost downforce and plowed the outside wall, and there has to be some sort of suspension damage with that truck, as he's going to be battling Whitehill, or Hone, excuse me. No, he's going to be battling Whitehill, as they're all 3 laps down. So the trucks that are off the lead lap are all 3 laps down. Chris Hone is currently your leader, you could say, in the lap down class, starting the lap now. And then there is Kraus, and there is Whitehill. And Whitehill's prepared to be lapped again. So that's quickly going to be turned into 4 laps for Whitehill, as he spun in turn number 1 on the 2nd lap of the race. And from the 2nd position, as the leaders pass him once again to put him 4 laps down in 8th position. As Kraus going around corner number 1 and 2 as he's hitting the apron and then plowing the wall. He just needs to get a better line, honestly, as he hits the wall again. Hitting the apron really isn't the best of ideas in an oval race, as there's no apron to hit on a road race, but you could hit the curbs or the wall or the grass, which is equally as bad. As Austin Hakes, as it looks like Coleman got a huge run through the corner, as Austin Hakes leads that, has closed up the gap. It looks like it was 41 hundredths, and now once timing and scoring updates, once it does 36, so he chopped off 5 hundredths of a second, half a tenth of a second in that one corner, it looks like. So he is coming, and he's coming quickly on lap number 27 of 81. As darkness is slowly hitting us here at Homestead, we're going to take it to the high above camera, especially those two, the pit lane camera and the high above camera, and you should see the darkness beginning to appear here. We're on board Randall Coleman. In the wall is Kraus. I think he blew a tire or heavy suspension damage. And he's going to keep banging that truck up to where the crew can't repair it. And now, oh boy, he's just going to drive it into the wall. This is a typical Jacob Kraus rage situation, where he gets angry and just drives the truck into the wall. Don't make your crew repair stuff, just park it if you're that angry. As he's nearly collecting David Culpepper in truck number 12. As he's taking the truck to the pit lane. So the torn up truck of Jacob Kraus looks like it's going to be headed to the garage here. As he's driving on the grass, he's going to miss pit entry. Oh boy. He's going to drive it down pit lane and retire the 29, it looks like. But Austin Hakes is not going to retire anytime soon. It looks like the gap has opened up at the line. It was 43. Now it is, once it updates, nearly 6/10 of a second. So he got about 2/10, give or take. As Kraus pulls down into the pit box. Does he park it? No, he's still going to continue. Timing and scoring reads he's on lap 26 when the leaders are at lap 31. Down pit lane, Dawson, so we should be finding green flag pit stops momentarily. As now Dawson will be put a lap down in truck number 4. Timing and scoring read 22, although he must have spun, as we missed it. So down the pit lane goes Dawson in truck number 4. The Good Smile Racing Toyota Tundra, Project Diva, Good Smile Racing. Very nice looking truck, as it looks like he went too far in his pit box. Down pit lane, Culpepper. As the leaders pit. Here on lap 32 of 81, they should be pitting, if they can, around lap 60, so they can't get to the end. Oh, excuse me there. On one more pit stop. All 3 lead lap trucks. Or all of the lead lap trucks actually are on the pit lane. As you can count, as Dawson exits the pit lane, as it looks like Krause's crew has sawed off the front end of that truck, and he's going to wait until the leaders exit. So, pit stops here with the 2 leaders. They're raising the right-hand side, as we're going to get pit stops of all 3, as the crew hopped over the wall for the 15. As they're all getting 4 tires, it looks like, and fuel. As did Coleman get 4 or 2? I think why would he get 2 and wait? So he did get 4. As Krause looks like he spun on the access road. This is going to compromise those 2. As Dawson now. Can Dawson get his lap back? Oh, he's going to be battling hard. He does. I think Hakes let him by. But now Dawson is going to be driving his heart out to stay on the lead lap, as these 2 are going to be battling for 3rd. So at the line, Dawson should get his lap back. We're going to check timing and scoring. Any time now? Yes, he does. Culpepper has been caught a lap down with Hakes, Coleman, Krause, and yeah, so Culpepper's off the lead lap. He had a horrible pit stop, but now Dawson is, that's not cool. You fight so hard to get out of the pit lane, and then you just give your lap up. Okay. That's just my opinion, though. As he's sliding into the wall! Is there a caution? Let's see. Safety truck lights are not on, so no caution. As that truck is hampered, you see the engine. That's not going to be the best. He's driving a modified here. It's Daniel Wilson in 3rd. Check fastest lap. Randall Coleman, 30.787. Then it's Austin Hakes with a 30.819. So Coleman is faster. And down the pit lane once again is Dawson, as they're passing Whitehill to put him 4 laps down. So 3 trucks are on the lead lap here at Homestead, Miami. Closing in on halfway here. Around lap 40, we'll be halfway at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Glad you can join us here on the Automotive Sports Network. As Hakes, Coleman, and Wilson, your lead lap. As this is the battle for the win, as Hone takes it to the pit lane. The battle for the win on the championship as Dawson has made it to his stall, and it looks like they're going to fix all that damage. Gap at the line was 1.12, and it's now 1.02. He ate a 10th out of the gap that time. So Coleman is slowly but surely going to catch Austin Hakes in truck number 21. I guarantee you. Coleman is the fastest driver here, according to fastest laps, by 3/100ths of a second, no doubt. As the last lap of the line was the exact same, minus a 10th. We're going to check lap times here. 31.370, 31.128. Gap now 0.77. So Austin might be saving his stuff, or Coleman is just that much faster. Out of the pit lane once again is Dawson to be put a 3rd lap down, actually. So his race has slowly become garbage, you could say. Although I won't think that he would say that because he is in the top 5. But at the line, lap time for Austin Hakes, 30.1, or 31.1, or 31.0, 3rd time's a charm, and a 31.1 for Randall Coleman, gap 0.85. So it's going to be a dogfight between these 2 as we close in on halfway, lap 39 of 81, you see on the fancy graphic on the top right. As let's go on board with Randall Coleman. As you saw, they ran pretty much identical laps. 30.990, 30.993. So gap 0.85 at the line. It is 31.1 for Hakes. 31.3, 1.05 for Coleman to gain. It is a dogfight. Coleman takes a little, loses a lot. Takes a little, loses a lot. Whitehill down pit lane. He's going to go down another lap. But he is in 7th. He is ahead of Kraus, who is 8 laps behind. Dawson, who is 3 laps behind, in 5th. As his gap at the line, 0.96, 31.175, 31.080. As around is Kraus with Culpepper. That should bring out the caution. Looking for the lights. It does. Caution is out halfway. That was peculiar. But Jacob Kraus will be having to park that truck. So let's take another look at what just happened. We caught the tail end of it. As Jacob Kraus was going incredibly slow from the helicopter. He's going slow. He changed grooves. He goes up and just right in the path of David Culpepper. There's a big rule in oval racing. It's called holding your line. And I think the damaged truck of Jacob Kraus was unable to do that. We're going to go on board Daniel Wilson, the rear end of the 15, to see what he saw. Now, we're going to go on board the last look aboard the front bumper of David Culpepper's truck, the number 12 Dodge. 29 just comes up right in front of him. I don't know if he wasn't using his mirrors or what, but he just came up right in front of David Culpepper. And that was a very unnecessary accident, I have to say. Very, very unnecessary. This has negated pit stops, I do believe, as I think they are going to pit again. So let's see. As we rejoin the action, Jacob Kraus is going again. It looks like he's going to try and pass the field. Oh! That could have ended badly. Hakes is your leader, and now Culpepper with damage in truck number 12. Chris Hone, Sean Whitehill, Daniel Wilson taking it to the pit lane, and the 2 leaders are not. Lap 43 of 81. Past halfway here. Crossed flags were shown as they were crossing the line to take the yellow flag. As the running order, let's break it down for you. Austin Hakes is leading. He's led pretty much every single lap of this race, if I'm not mistaken. Randall Coleman in 2nd. 3rd is Daniel Wilson. 4th is David Culpepper. 5th is Nick Dawson. 6th is Chris Hone. 7th, Sean Whitehill. 8th, who is now parked, is Jacob Kraus. 9th, who is now parked, the 33 of, I believe, of Robbie Jackson. 10th, who is parked, Eric Epler. 11th, Josh Mertz. And 12th, Nathan Curtis. Those 2 were parked immediately after that big crash on lap 2. Epler parked on the restart. Jackson, I do believe, was involved with Kraus a couple laps into this run. And Kraus obviously involved in the last caution, so that's why he has parked. So 7 trucks on the racetrack. We had a race with 7 vehicles last week in Iowa, and it was fantastic. As tomorrow on the Automotive Sports Network, pay attention to our on-demand page, as we will have round number 20, I believe, of the FAST SuperTruck Series on demand. I do not know the track off the top of my head, so sorry about that, but we will have it on demand from wherever track it may be. So pay attention to Facebook and on demand for that race. As down pit lane come the 2 leaders with Dawson, Culpepper, and Wilson. Staying out, Kraus. Oh, I thought Kraus parked, but he didn't. Then it is Whitehill and Hone. 3 lapped trucks staying out, with the 3 lead lap trucks in, with Dawson and Culpepper. I believe Culpepper, no, he was involved in the wreck, so he wouldn't get the lucky dog. As Culpepper pulls down, then it's going to be Dawson, Wilson, Coleman, Hakes. So let's watch the pit action. Wilson, fuel only. Strategy. Hakes, 4 tires, it looks like. All of them take 4 tires, but leading out of the pit lane, Daniel Wilson. Beautiful strategy, but that might bite him with worn tires. Although, no, I do believe he pitted. Yeah, he did. He pitted the lap before. So he's going to take fuel to top off. Great strategy for the 15. Beautiful strategy, I'd have to say. It's going to filter him through the lead because these 3 trucks are going to have to move out of the way or pit. As Hone looking to the pit lane, Whitehill looking to the pit lane, and Kraus looking to the pit lane. Yes, he is. Is Wilson going to pit again? He is. That's surprising. These 2 are pitting again. I wouldn't have thought about that. Well, so Coleman's going to be your leader on this restart. So the 6 trucks are out on track. I do believe we might be going green this time, so that might have been a bad idea. We're on lap 45 of 81. So let's see as the safety truck will pass with Randall Coleman behind it and the rest of them down on pit lane. And yeah, lights are out on the safety truck, and I don't believe that was a very smart decision by any of those drivers to pit, as they're going to get stuck way behind as Wilson, Hone, Kraus, who stops on pit lane. Oh boy. Calamity on pit lane. Culpepper, 4th. So this is going to be beautiful. Hakes immediately knows fuel only, as he didn't take the... I thought he didn't take the access road. As Hone, a mess on pit lane. Oh my goodness. Dawson out. Whitehill out. Wilson's going to be exiting. Hone and Kraus are stuck as we're exiting turn 2 and heading down the backstretch. Dawson out. Whitehill out of the access road. And it's Wilson exiting. And Hone's still stuck along with Kraus. Safety truck is off as these 2 are still stuck on pit lane, as Hone, excuse me, is going to have to haul it to get to where he needs to be. As we're rounding turn number 3 here. As Hone and Kraus have left pit lane, this is going to put Coleman on a row of his own as the lap trucks are in the way. As Hone hauling it, trying to reach the pack. Safety truck off. Coleman, 57 miles an hour, picks up the accelerator, and we're green as Culpepper gets an awful restart. As there goes Hone and Kraus entering turn 3. So now Coleman leads with Hakes. Wilson, that's your lead lap. But Culpepper is in front of him on the road. Coleman, Hakes, Culpepper, Wilson, Dawson, Hone, Whitehill, Kraus, your running order on the track. But the running order in timing and scoring says Coleman, excuse me, Hakes, Wilson, Culpepper, Dawson, Hone, Whitehill, Kraus. 30.5 for Coleman to Hakes, 34.8. It was half a second, and it looks like it is shrunk to about 0.3 of a second. As Wilson closing in a further half second behind. So the top 3, the only 3 on the lead lap, are battling. Looks like 0.4 to Hakes and 2 more to Wilson. I was close. 4.5 to Hakes and then 0.62 from Coleman to Wilson, as these 2 are going to be battling momentarily. As this race probably has turned into a fuel strategy race. As pitting is 30 laps. The run is 30 laps. As into the inside is Wilson on Hakes. Will he get it? Out of corner number 4. They're still side by side at the line. It was Wilson, but the line doesn't matter. Last lap for Hakes, 31.2. Last lap, 31. They ran exact lap. No, they didn't. Excuse me. That was my bad. 31.228 to a 31.288. And Wilson ran a 31 flat. As Kraus staying out of the way, make sure you stay to one groove. As he does, leaders get by him okay. As I was saying earlier, our fuel run is about 30 laps, and we have 30 laps to go. So, could they stretch it? It's going to be iffy. We've been green for a couple laps. But if you can clutch it, It could happen. At the line, 5,400, so 5.5 tenths to Wilson, and then 3 more to Hakes. So this battle really opening up here on lap 51 of 81, so exactly 30 laps to go. Here at Homestead, sparks flying from the 15 truck. As these trucks love to spark up, we saw at Pocono, Mertz's truck especially sparking up. 2 tenths of a second to Wilson. He had the draft. His lap was a 30.7. Coleman, 31 flat. He's going to get the draft going down the backstretch. Will he give him a bump draft to mess up his entry into 3? Trying to tandem Randall Coleman and Daniel Wilson with 7 tenths behind Austin Hakes. Outer corner number 4. This is getting good. Ending lap 52, beginning 53. At the line, timing and scoring. He says the gap was the same. But Hakes got a 10th away from those two. Sean Whitehill out of the way. It looks like Coleman hit the wall. It's getting good. Real good. Entry to 3 was compromised for Wilson. Sparks flying underneath all 3 trucks. Trying. The inside he goes. He had the run. No, he didn't. He has to get the draft at the line. It's probably a 10th. Let's see once it updates. Oh, it's under a 10th. 0.08 of a second. Then it's 4 tenths to Hakes as Wilson looking underneath Coleman for the lead. We're going to get the second lead change of the night, can we? As night is starting to fall. Quick view. Yes, night's starting to fall. Beautiful in southern Florida. What a championship setup. I believe currently Coleman is your champion. I'm not sure about the point standings, but I believe Coleman is the champion by 1 point. At the line, gap doubled. A 10.5 to Wilson, 3 tenths to Hakes. As remember, Coleman is in second in the points, and Hakes is in first. On track, Coleman, Wilson, Hakes in the points. Hakes, Coleman, and Wilson somewhere down in the points because I don't believe he ran all season. To the inside is Wilson. He's going to try it, nearly making contact out of 4. At the line, gap is timing and scoring. We wait, 600ths. It's 3 tenths to Hakes. Hakes dives it into turn 1. Wilson gets a great run through the corner. Side by side, outer corner number 2. Who will get it? From the commentary box position camera, you see the momentum he got on the outside. Hakes has a run too. Let's see, through corners 3 and 4. Will Daniel Wilson be able to capitalize as laps are ticking down? He has the run off the middle of the corner, but the outside prevails again. Timing and scoring. Once it updates, exactly 1 tenth, and the gap hasn't changed to Hakes. An incredible battle here at Homestead. Wilson is not giving up. We are staying on this camera to show you the run on the outside that Coleman gets. Down the back straightaway. Look at the run, but he stalls out entering the corner, and he's going to try the inside again as that beautiful DEI-inspired paint scheme of Daniel Wilson with the Dale Earnhardt stripes and all. Whitehill to pit lane. Out of the corner. They were side-by-side mid-corner, but he had the run on the outside. Probably 2 tenths. No, a 10.5 to Wilson. As Hakes still has the same gap. Whitehill to pit lane. As it looks like Kraus has parked the truck. So once again, he was frustrated and parked the truck. As I know the drivers gave him a lot of advice. Every practice session they give him advice because he'd overdrive the car, overdrive it really, really badly, underdrive it, would give him advice, and he'd park in frustration. As none of the drivers understand it. As at the line, timing and scoring. Let's see. I think it stayed the same. Nope, yeah, it did. So, this battle is still raging, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Coleman and Wilson battling for the lead from the commentary box position. He got to his rear wheel. Is he going to drive it in? Coleman on the outside. He's going to get the run unless Wilson can hold him side by side, even out of the corner. And at the line, he got the run. He negated it pretty much. No, he didn't. The run still prevailed him on the outside. That's what's going to win in the race. If he's going to win the race, he's got to stay up high. You see Wilson recognizes this. He's going to run the outside, get the run, get the draft, and possibly try a pass. Down the backstretch, it was 600ths, 4 tenths to Hakes. Down the straightaway, he nearly gave him a bump. You saw him, but he backed off. Through 3 and 4, they're both going to run the outside. Sparks flying from the 24 and 15. out of the corner. Wilson trying, still at the line. Coleman wins it, coming to 20 to go. The gap still the same. Coleman on the outside. Wilson leads mid-corner. Looks like Coleman had to budge, and lead change. It is Daniel Wilson, your leader. Beautiful pass mid-corner, as Coleman had the run on the outside, and it looks like he overdrove the corner, as now Wilson going to block like mad, as sparks are flying from the 15. I don't think he set up his truck to run up that high. And at the line, let's see the gap from the leader to the 2 points contenders. 3/10, 4/10. Coleman running the inside now. He saw what Wilson did, and now he is going to see if he can catch him, as the gap is the same between these 3 trucks, about 1 truck length and 2.5 truck lengths from Wilson to Coleman, and then 1 to Hakes, as Hakes is gaining. Wilson still sparking, as I really don't think the ride height was set for that truck to run on the outside of the track. Lap 63. Gap is 3.5 and 5 to Coleman and Hakes respectively, as this is the battle. Culpepper 4th, Dawson in 5th, so you're not missing anything there. We are paying attention to this battle, as they're going to catch Culpepper and Dawson. To the pit lane, Coleman. I know what he's doing. He's pitting. He's making sure he's going to have enough fuel. He's going to make sure he has enough fuel to seal this deal. And he's probably going to get right sides, but let's see and pay attention to strategy. As in the pit lane is Randall Coleman. As we looked at telemetry, he was about 55 at the cones. He might get a penalty. Hopefully not, because that'd be really, really bad. As Hone in the pit lane. And I believe Whitehill has parked. Whitehill has parked the 96. So we have 6 trucks on the track. Chris Hone exiting, entering his box, Randall Coleman. Jack goes up on the right-hand side. Darkness beginning. He took right sides and fuel. That's a really smart decision. Exiting the pit lane is Randall Coleman. He's going to see if he can... Well, he's going to lose a lap as Hone sideways. We're paying attention to Coleman here. I think he's at least 1 lap down. Check timing and scoring here. And yeah, he is 1 lap down. So he's hoping this strategy is going to work. As the gap is a second from Wilson to Hakes, I think Hakes is saving fuel. As we're entering the closing stages here at Homestead, darkness getting ever so darker. As we're going to pay attention to timing and scoring here, we're going to pay attention to your leader, Daniel Wilson, who is currently in command of this race. With Hakes 0.9 of a second back. And Culpepper and Dawson are battling. No, they're not. They can't be battling. They're on different laps. So the 3 lap trucks are on different laps. Coleman at the line, 31.4. So he's running half a second slower, as this is a nice battle with Hone and Dawson, as they're off the lead lap. They're actually on their own laps, but I don't know why they're battling. They're just battling to battle, I guess. As Culpepper on the outside, he's saving fuel. Culpepper's saving fuel. He's currently in 4th. He's got a nice finish in hand. 6.5 to Hakes from Wilson. As we're currently closing in on about 11 laps to go. Well, my math's correct, 13. Yeah, 13. We're going to pay attention to Coleman here. Pay attention to the leaders and Coleman. Because I don't know if that was a scheduled pit stop. I haven't heard anything over the radio about an unscheduled stop. So I think it was scheduled. He's just trying to make it on fuel. Because they last pitted on that last caution. It was right on the edge of not being able to make it. Coleman's last lap at 31.2. He's right on pace as Hakes has the draft of Wilson. It was 4/10 round up to Hakes from Wilson. So it's going to get interesting for the battle for the lead, the win, and the championship. Currently is in Austin Hakes' hands, the championship. The battle for the lead and the win, though, is still up for grabs. 0.3 of a second. Wilson still running the outside. The Randall Coleman groove, you can say, as it looks like that's the fastest groove around this track. The top and the middle are the two fastest grooves. Wilson to pit lane, both pitting. Both pitting. Now we're going to see who's better on entry to the pit lane. As it looks like Wilson's carrying a tad bit more speed. Cones, 50 miles an hour. It doesn't look like he made it. I think he overshot. So we're going to see if Coleman, he's going to have to pass these two and make another lap to see if he can get this win. So the two leaders, down pit lane. Coleman's back on the lead lap. If I had a double screen or a dual screen, I would show you, but I don't think I can invest in that technology just yet. Two leaders pitting. Wilson, right side's off. Hakes, right side's off. They're oh, he's taking rights. Wilson is taking rights. They're both taking right side tires. If they took all four, that would be good, because I don't think they'll be able to be caught by Coleman. We'll see through the corner here. They're gonna beat him. They're gonna beat him out. Yeah, he's way far behind. So Hakes has pipped Wilson in the pit stops. So this is gonna get interesting. 10 laps to go. Will Daniel Wilson fight to the death to try and get that win? Can Randall Coleman catch these two? As he has warm tires, these two have cold at the line. Ending lap 71. Gap is 0.13 of a second to Wilson. And it is at the line, 3.2 seconds to Randall Coleman. Will Hakes be able to hold on as darkness has set here at Homestead? Wilson trying the outside. Sparks flying from the 15. Out of turn 4. Ending lap 72. Laps ticking down. At the line. Timing and scoring says... Let's see. Did the gap say the same? It had to. No. 800ths. As timing and scoring becomes slower and slower as the race ticks down. It's going to make my call even worse. As Wilson hounding the back of the 21. Trying to make his own groove on the outside. He did. There was barely a truck width there. And he made it. Around the corner. Will he get the run on the outside? Out of turn 4. Hakes blocks. Lap 73 is in the books. It's getting good. Coleman's losing ground. 700ths. The gap 3.7. The championship is in hand for Austin Hakes. Wilson trying the inside. But he can't do it. He doesn't have the run. He tries. Hakes runs the outside. Wilson runs even higher. The truck length between the two. Outer corner number 4. Down to the line to end lap 74. 6 to go. Gap at the line, 0.12. Gap at the line for Coleman. As we're paying attention, 4 seconds. He's out. Side by side for the lead. Hakes had the run on the outside. Fastest lap, 37.702 to Wilson, 30.723. They're on equal footing, but I think that was in the three truck pack with draft. Out of the corner, 75 is in the books. As he looked to the inside, Hakes tried to throw a block. It's all down to these two. The gap is 0.09 of a second. And it's getting closer. As Coleman, 4 seconds out. Can't do anything. Wilson trying to get the draft on Hakes. Truck length in the middle of the corner. This is what he did to Coleman. He ran the inside to try and take the lead. He was able to do it in the first turn. Gap of the line, 0.08. Hakes is going to try the high side. I think Wilson tries the inside and cuts to the inside, or tries the outside, cuts to the inside. That's exactly what he does to try and get the run off the corner. Lap 76 was in the books, and on lap 77, down the backstretch at Homestead, Miami. This is it. This is the battle. 2 lap trucks in the way. Culpepper and Dawson. They should stay out of the way. At the line, the gap, 0.09. The 2 lap trucks should stay out of the way. They're staying to the outside. Good job, guys. Good job. As Culpepper was loose. Oh boy. That could have made Daniel Wilson nervous. Hakes on the outside. Wilson sparking in the middle of the corner. He's going to get the run. They're side by side at the line, ending 78. Beginning 3 laps to go. Wilson's there. He wants this win. Side by side in the middle of the corner. It's going to be Hakes on the outside, I believe, getting the run. Middle of the corner. Wilson had it. He had it, but he has the run. Hakes does, on the outside. Coming to 2 laps to go. They're going to have 3 miles to decide this win. Hakes has the championship, but he knows he wants the win. 5.2 to Coleman. At the line, 2 to go. Hakes has it this time. The gap at the line doesn't matter. Timing and scoring, 1/100th. Hakes leads. Coleman, 5.4 back. Wilson trying his hardest on the inside to get the lead. In the corner now. Hakes on the outside. Truck 21, Jack Daniel Chevy. We have a Chevy Silverado and an Avalanche. 1.5 miles to go. Jack Daniel Chevy Silverado. Austin Hakes 21. 15 Daniel Wilson Pennzoil Chevy Avalanche. Middle of the corner. Hakes has it by a nose. Half a truck length. Outer corner number 4. Down the back straightaway here. Hakes has the run, and it's going to be Daniel Wilson's last hope. Going to get the draft into turn 3 to dive it in. Hope it sticks. He's going to drive it in deep. Sparks flying from the 15. Can he get the run? Middle of the corner. At the line. Coming down. Austin Hakes clears him as he wins at Homestead. As he wins the championship. Your championship winner, your race winner, Austin Hakes. Beautiful run for the 21 truck. Randall Coleman, I believe the pit strategy bit him. He tried to short pit, and it didn't work, as Wilson's around exiting the pit lane, or entering the pit lane. What a race here at Homestead, as Austin Hakes will get ready to burn it down. While he burns it down, we will go through the final results from Homestead. Your winner, Austin Hakes, in truck number 21, a 1/10 of a second advantage over Daniel Wilson. As in third spot, Randall Coleman, 6.3 seconds back. David Culpepper finishes in the 4th position. 5th place is Nick Dawson. 6th is Chris Hone. 7th, Sean Whitehill. 8th place, Jacob Kraus. 9th place, Robbie Jackson. 10th place, Eric Epler. 11th, Josh Mertz. And 12th is Nathan Curtis. Austin Hakes burns it down to celebrate his championship and his race victory. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the FAST SuperTruck Series on the Automotive Sports Network. As you can join our Facebook page at facebook.com/automotivesportsnetwork, twitter.com/ASNTV_USA, #ASNTVUSA, youtube.com/ASNTVUSA, ASNTVUSA.tk, and ASNTVUSA@gmail.com. I forgot to mention that in the opener, this broadcast was brought to you by JavaShot Designs. If you need any design for any racing interest, facebook.com/JavaShot Designs. For all of us here at ASN, congratulations to Austin Hakes for the race victory and the championship. I am Josh Mertz. So long, everyone.